Hey, Dave Knight here at 123, formerly of 123daytrade.com. Most likely now going to be called Dave Knight Trading in the future. Uh, NQ. The NQ market is just a beast. And when you're looking at it, this is a 5-minute chart right now. My weekly video. This is my weekly video. I figured I've been trying to keep up with the weekly videos. So I scrolled back to when the market kind of went down from was that 9:50 in the morning, and then we kind of based from the 10:30 mark all the way to pretty much the end of
Potential
the day.
effects on NQ.
Even though this is showing here, this is kind of like, this was the low, 13,152, and then we went a little bit lower later in the day right here. Um, it's been a tough market for me to learn how to trade, but it's been informative too. I was able to, um, I'm still playing around in it. I've given myself 3 months to learn it, and I'm in. So I started trading NQ, I think in March, and I'm in April. And I started with Apex Investing and their way of looking at it. And I've been toying between the way I trade with my spreadsheets and the way I look at it, and the way that Apex Investing is. And I've been flipping back and forth, trying to figure out how I want to best approach this. Uh, you can see that I was able to lose one. I was up and then I lost. And then I went after the second one today when I was able to pull out 2,000 bucks and get to 52,013.36. It's been a very frustrating few. I wouldn't call it frustrating. It's learning. I'm learning how to trade NQ. The NQ has better potential to make money than the CL market. It's just going to take some time for me to learn how to properly attack the market and go after it. And I'm not convinced that Apex Investing is this resource that I want to use in the end either. But I know that there's too many signals um, overall in the way that I look at it with uh, my tiger charts that I use. Maybe I'll show you that in a minute. But this is the 5-minute chart, and I flip between a 5-minute and a 10-minute on this one. And then I look at here's that same area on the 60 minutes. It went down at 10, kind of settled in right around here. So it was good on the short and the long. I made money on both sides today. And then this is 240 minute. I think that's a 4-hour chart. Yeah, 4-hour chart where you see the 8 to up to 8 o'clock, 8:01 to 12 to 4, and so forth and so on. Um, so this is what you were trading into in the NQ today. After the 10:30 market, just kind of went back and forth. I was able to catch this move here. It was my big winning move right here. And we need to actually show the 5-minute on that one. So that brings it in a little bit easier to see. Here's that's the 4 o'clock mark. So here's the big move that I caught. We had a red bar down. We had kind of a signal bar right in here. and we had a red bar down, and I caught that move right there coming down. So this is the move that I was able to capture, and then I was able to capture, I believe, one other trade. I think it was this one here. I was able to capture a little bit of a move from this red bar down to here, and as it came back up, I got taken out. So I had two solid trades. I had one long signal, I believe, in here. So if I get my screen draw tool out, I was able to capture that move, this move right here, and then this move. I didn't capture this one. I was done on trading at 3 o'clock today. So I stopped trading roughly in here. I was up 2K on these three trades, this one, and this one, and I called it a day. Probably could have got the extra 1,000 here today if I would have been looking at this one, or this one's a little bit, this is after the 4 o'clock mark, so I wouldn't have traded that anyway. That's no good. It was a small trade I thought about right in here, but I had already was up 2,000, and I've been up 2,000 on many times inside um, Apex, and I struggle with the drawdown, the max trailing drawdown. That seems to be my biggest issue that I seem to run into. I get to a point where unfortunately I get to the effort mentality that I talk about, and it causes me to overtrade, revenge trade, over leverage, and then blow what was a winning account. So, like for instance, a couple of the ones I've had 3 or 4 above 52,000 over the last couple of weeks or so. I actually had one that actually went into the PA. Here I am again above 52,000 again, and I only need, like, the one from yesterday, or one from the yesterday that I failed was at 52,492, and I just took a bad setup to start with, and then I compounded my error um, by over trading that situation, and I got down about 700-800 bucks on that one, and I just said screw it, and I went all in, and which wasn't a good idea. Was there a time that I could have stopped on that one? If I would have taken a good first trade, maybe perhaps I would have been able to do better overall. Let's go back and look at that one setup that I caught today I want to talk about. It was right around the 3 o'clock mark, I believe. Let's go back and look. Started about 245 bar. There's the one I caught right here. So here's the trade setup. I didn't take this one on. Whoops. I don't know why it always gets this. Oh, shit. Stop. I did not take this one. This is the trade setup right here I took on. And I took this one, and I was able to capture down to, I believe I captured down to about here, maybe a little bit further. I can't remember exactly, but this was my big win for the day. You see the up move here, and then this nice move, this signal here comes on the charts, and I was able to capture that move. That was the best trade setup of the day. So it was what they call Xbox. So this is a nice little setup here that I captured, and I wasn't afraid of this move here. We had already made some potential coming down. So as we came through that level in there, it made the last area of support was when demand was over here, and it didn't go back. And then I thought my stop was a little above here, so if it would have ran up there, I would have come out. But this was the trade. setup that, here's the move that took me out right there. Um, so as it came back over right here at this mending magnet, they call it, that's what knocked me out right there on this particular trade. So it was a nice little run here to get me above where I needed to be and get above 2,000. Um, I guess that's really it. It wasn't that, I don't really want to talk much longer than that. It's been a struggle, but it's been a good struggle because I think I'm making progress of where I want to be. Many accounts have got a plus 2,000. Just need to continue to. Uh, on a down day, I've got to stop. That's all about it. You know, I've had a couple days that I've stopped and I've come back the next day. I've had days that I've stopped and then blown it out the next day after that. Um, I don't know. We just take one day at a time. That's all I got today. Don't really have much that I want to talk about. I showed you the trade I caught that coincided with this move right here. That was my big win up for the day. All right. It's Dave Knight here at 123 Day Trade, formerly 123 Day Trade, soon to be most likely DaveKnightTrading.com. Talk to you in the future. Bye for now.